Hey everyone, welcome back. Got another battle report here. Um, Played at the Rocket Republic Game Day in Huntsville, Alabama. We were doing got a helping a friend out. He's building his British force, so we did a British versus the Germans and Soviets. 1250 Conflict 47 top secret. The British list. So he, like I think most people, enjoyed the automatons so he ended up bringing a decent number of that, and then also the new Merlin Heavy Walker. I think this is in our games. This is the biggest Rift Tech or vehicle that's hit the table, so everybody was pretty interested. Um, like I said, he is new, so not all of it's painted up, but the stuff that is looks good. Also interested to see how the automated infantry works out. I mean, it's a lot of shots, but they do have to pass that check. My forces, the Soviets, I was just going with a bunch of bodies. Just thought it would be fun to just throw just wave upon wave of people to die. The Germans a little bit more elite, well minus the zombies. Um, then the board layout. So we're playing top secret. So we got the little objective here. So the British are set up. Will be set up on the left. You can see them. Some here. Will be on the right. Again from the other side of the table. So we treated these as, I believe, buildings instead of the normal ruins. We did this as a light, or you can't run through it. You can only advance unless you're going over the bridge, which the Brin carrier is small enough it can physically fit over the bridge. So, um, yeah, we allowed that. Um, Treated this as light cover. You couldn't run through hard cover, and then just hard cover, but it doesn't come into play. Top of one. So he's bringing in his troops. The British, I believe these are the paratroopers. Then some automated infantry. Then the little amp. This is the heavy machine gun variety. Um, and then kind of jumping forward, there was some more back and forth, so it wasn't six of our pools in a row. But yeah, the idea was to send um, my troops as coming in. We got our kind of channel ways here, so send them in, bring it in, and then so here's the rifle inexperienced squad, SMGs. This is the dual LMG squad. Zombies are zombies. So the idea was, okay, send in the cheap guys first, send in the slightly more expensive guys, and then if needed, this last group can come in um, and pick up the objective. So I knew I was going to lose at least one or so squads because my plan was just to throw a squad on there to force them to act, and pull it off, and deal with me while the rest of the army advances, so we can just swamp the objective. Just a close up of the zombies providing motivation instead of the usual commissars and MMGs to move forward. And then Merlin hits the table, so he's coming in. Not pictured is the he's firing, I believe, him and another squad. They just tear into that inexperienced squad. Yeah, so you're starting to see him getting gunned down. And then the honorable mention, or dishonorable in this case, so anti-tank rifle team and the light mortar didn't show up. And then here's his dishonorable mention. So I don't think any of his transports or his LT showed up first turn. So considering they were all veteran, that's a bit of an issue. Top of two. So things are shaping up to the plan. It did help that he didn't get the reinforcements when he needed, so we have a very large local superiority. At least, hopefully, the plan is to be able to dive on the objective here, and just I don't, at this point he doesn't have enough bullets to deal with all of us. It didn't stop him from mowing down. As you know, there's a lack of inexperienced squad here. They were between, I believe it's the infantry here, the Merlin. They just were killed no man. Didn't It wasn't even a matter of a test. They were just shot off the board. Like I mentioned earlier, the plan send them up here, SMG squad, just dive on here. So he's got to deal with it now, um, which he has the forces to do so. Um, but the idea being is if they're firing or shooting, advancing and firing at them, they're not, running across or anything like that to get closer. So that was the plan. Um, didn't account or didn't factor this, so they just ran across the bridge. We're still able to see, get a good line of sight, and just mowed these guys down. These are the paratroopers, and then the the view from the back as their poor squads, as comrades at arms, are getting mowed down in front of them. Yep, and then another one of the transports or something swept them up. The that the meat shield plan complete. I now begin the second wave meat shield. So zombies are coming up. Being slower, we didn't want to rely on them to move on the objective. So the idea being is send the quick guys out there. One thing I forgot to mention is my terrors are off the board. I throw them in too quickly, so the easiest thing for me to do at this point is just not keep them off the board. Keeps me from doing something stupid with them until we can use their speed to jump on it and then run it off. He actually did. My ally did the same thing. Kept his Falcon troops in the reserve, so we can come in, see where everything hits, and then bring them in. So they're sweeping up on our right. I don't think we both realize they're probably not going to capture the objective, but really they are armed with two Panzerfausts, and if nothing else, be able to sweep back here, and if any of his forces get it, we have something in place to be able to counter it. Just a close-up because they look cool. Top of 3. I didn't really mention it, but I did have a flamethrower team. So the Merlin was hiding out back here. So the idea is, all right, I'm not going to send them up in the open towards the objective, so I can see if I can sneak them back here and either burn the Merlin or something back there. Kind of functioning similar to the Falcon troops on the right. Is we just have something that I'm going to run back, and if needed, at least we have something on their side of the board that can counter if they get the objective. And then the board state at turn 3. So yeah, anti-tank rifle team not doing much anything. Light howitzer, I didn't mention it, but he did was able to land some hits or force them to go down, and then they failed their check. So again, being veterans, that's very unlucky, but they were sitting back here for a turn or two, just pretty much not doing anything. See the little HMG guy back here, and then the fire base of unpleasantness of MMGs and LMGs on the objective. So our opponent set up right there. He's new to the game, but not new to tactics and things. So he was able to do good there. And so if anybody's going to come on here, they're taking a lot of shots. Lucky enough, we have a lot of bodies. This is a view from this side of the table. So yeah, you can see them kind of being sneaky and hopefully take him out, and then either come in to support or sweep to the back here. So I was trying to be cute, so not necessarily cute with it, but just so he had that squad here, and they were close enough to get to the objective. So my thought being is, okay, let me go ahead and get out here and engage. Sorry. 1, I might get lucky, kill them. 2, it stops anybody from coming in here and picking up the objective. So it's kind of a twofold, and it lets our other squads come in and grab the objective, hopefully safe behind a wall of guys with SMGs. So I move up, advance up, fire, which he decides to return fire, and just we mow each other down. So yeah, I started with I think 10 guys in the squad, end up with 2. So yeah, not a I don't think either side had a good day on that one. So they're sneaking up, doing their thing, getting behind the gun shield, which again, he did a good job painting this guy up, and it just looks mean and generally unpleasant. But we managed to, we as in him, sneak beside its gun shield and catch it on fire. It it lives, but yeah, he's just having a bad day. Um, Thankfully, our opponent whiffs some rolls, I believe, from maybe the transport here, and doesn't finish the squad off. I'm again moving up my LT at this point, just to I know I'm not going to be able to run off the board with it, so just provide more bodies between him and the objective. But it does leave a gap through, so the zombies finally shuffle, get up to the objective. So we have a wall of undead holding it to counter. So we got he's able to advance through the river like noted, and then he jumps out his another other paratrooper squad, and they just tear into the zombies, killing like I think 5 or 6 of them. So it's yeah, so this fires into them, these fire into them, and it's just a bad day. I finally bring in my terrors. Um, Seeing that we have hands on the objectives and stuff, I actually just shoot them up the middle. Don't try to do anything fancy with flanking or anything like that. And about this time, not mentioned because it added some pins and a couple random stuff, but there's the artillery observer hanging out second floor here. So he, seeing that we're on the objective and have a clear path to run it back through our lines, pardon, he calls an artillery strike. So the motivation is up to get out of here quickly. So we're again, like I said, being sneaky. The Merlin moved, so it gives an extra turn to run, but they were spotted. Um, Thankfully, didn't die, so the team still lived. But yeah, they got lit up. Brings us into the middle. Yeah, so he's still burning. They fired. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, he put himself out, but he just left it on there. Oh, yeah, they got the Piat fired into them. Oh yeah, just the board state so far. So this is, I mean, he's been firing the light howitzer, but not doing much. Um, Still neat. I mean, for the points, it's good enough. Top of 4. So we, yeah, I think last turn or something. Yeah, we fired into here. Got lucky, killed a lot. I think it was this squad. Yeah, they fired into here, did a lot. We moved the zombies back, and then rugby past the objective to the terrors, which not pictured due to the distance. I believe it's either the automated squad, the 3-man, or the Merlin had line of sight. No, it was the automated infantry. They're tall enough. They drew line of sight through the zombies, so they're hitting at additional -1, but they were able to kill 3 in the process. Not enough to check. We are fanatics, so they'd pretty much have to kill us to a man, but either way, it still wasn't enough to worry about. It did put a pin on them, so we had to worry if we were going to fail the order check and not be able to run off. Thankfully, the artillery strike didn't go off, and then ended the turn. So or ended the game at this point. So I got the next pull. Just shot those guys off the board as quick as possible because yeah, anything can happen if you give the enemy a chance. So board state, we ended up winning. So a lot of death, but not units weren't destroyed. So they're down to 1 man, they're 2, they're down to a man. I did lose 2 squads, but yeah, overall it was a really good game. Um, the opponent was he's newer, so this is his 3rd or 4th game, but he's got already a good chunk of his force painted up. So I'm looking forward to seeing he's making good progress on that, and seeing as he builds and refines his force and tactics, what all starts coming onto the table. So into the game, it was a German and Soviet win, so that was cool. the unholy alliance against artificial intelligence. We don't Germans and Soviets don't agree on a lot in World War II, except we don't want automated. We don't want artificial intelligence. So I ended up losing two squads, like mentioned, my 9-man infantry squad and then my 11-man um, inexperienced, my free squad. We did have one unit AWOL all game, so the British LT, just didn't show up, just for whatever reason. And but either way, still a good game. Go back to the board state. So yeah, it was fun. He did a little conversion on this guy, added his own little larger caliber bullet chain to it. So like I said, it'll be good to see that painted up. And again, we're playing at the Rocket Republic Brewery in Huntsville, Alabama, the first and third Sundays. So if you're ever free, just in the area, give me a shout, and we'll get a game in. Thanks for watching.